try to make this short because I usually talk a lot. Hey, so overall from the masses, how was it? The fact that we had to force everyone to come out here to train, was there training value that everyone got out of it? So from a 3 from CU that had done stick slings prior to, raise your hand. One's done stick slings at 3? Yeah. So short, how was your experience here in comparison?
Critical thinking wise, it was insane. Compared to just, running through the steps of, okay, go over here, set, do the mission, index. This was by far one of the best learning experiences I've had critical thinking wise at an LBX.
Someone from you.
So tactical skills were a requirement throughout the entire day, as opposed to a stick lane where it'd be like, hey, 5 minutes. For a 5-minute time frame, you're going to need to pull a knee and stay by a tree. Today was the entire day, use those skills and put them to practice so it enforces more and better.
Where's 3?
Okay, so I've been in the program for 3 years, and the first 2 LDXs for everyone, it was by the book, mission, out order, execute, and you were kind of on your toes the whole time, standing up, going on, because it was by the book. But the last LDX we did, and this one, are by far the best learning experiences as well.
You don't have to say that, dude.
No, I'm thinking.
Over here. Alright, how about, there you go.
They made that change real quick.
So, kind of summing that up, so our intent was for you guys to come out here and care about TTPs, but be more concerned with the principle. Does that make sense? It didn't matter how you did the ambush, what did you accomplish the mission? Because as some of you guys probably witnessed beforehand, I put all this time into planning because I'm concerned what somebody wants to see, and then before you know it, what do you miss? Your hit time, right? So all that stuff looked good was all in vain, right? So right here, what do we go for? Mission failure or mission success? Alright. So on the flip side of that, while you guys were managing all of our chaos that we were trying to inject and throw at you guys, which you guys did well from what I got, all 4 OIC. At the 4 level, how was it? OTMs on the ground.
All the cadet performed and was able to complete the missions.
So, I guess my last kind of comment is, we're out here, and from what I've seen in ROTC, most people would rather it not happen. But we were able to find a middle ground, still come out here and get something. I kind of had my reservation, because it's like, well, how do we cram in what we had in a short time? Unfortunately, not everyone got a leadership position. Hopefully we'll achieve that in the joint LDX. So again, what I said earlier, and it sounds simple, but make a decision, right? Am I going to do something or not? Once you do that, you figure out how you're going to solve the problem. You don't have to do it alone. As a leader, you identify your strengths, your weaknesses, find out the talent around you, manage that, and then you execute. And it's a continuous process, right? Because who here, their plan went perfect? Or who here perfectly executed someone else's plan? The only constants change. So, hey, with that, I didn't really see like a bunch of whiny faces. Good effort, and sustain it. We're almost done. So, with that being said, you got anything for St. Aug?
Hey, on behalf of the Falcon Battalion, St. Augustine University, ROTC, thank you to all you guys for welcoming our cadets and being so inviting, letting us learn from you, and you learn from us as well. Thank you.
I don't get an opportunity to talk to you as a battalion very often. So I made sure before I came out here I took some notes. And because I have CRS, I really need these notes. And one thing is, I'd like a copy of this at the end of this. Not before I talk, what Cadet Pavlicek said. He knocked off the first thing about the training objectives. what I told Cadet Pavlicek was success at the bare minimum here was accountability of all cadets and cadre, and everybody concluded operations safely. Anything above that was wildly successful, and we have been wildly successful today. What I gave him and the Cadet Battalion staff was the leverage and the latitude to come up with what they came up with today. We, the staff, provide the resources and coordination, but we leave it to you, the future Army officers, to execute, plan, coordinate that. I think they did a great job. All right, we are indexing now. Why are we indexing? We're indexing because tonight's weather temperature is going to be about a low of about 44 to 48, and the rain is coming. You might have felt a drop or two now with 100% rain at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So for safety reasons, and we started this discussion on Wednesday, looking at the weather, and it kept changing. We had a conscious decision to index this LDX today versus spending the night here and executing it in the rain tomorrow, which I know would have been a great suckfest, and you would have great stories about it, but if we hurt somebody, we would have failed at this LDX. So your safety is number one concern, followed closely by developing you to be a future Army officer. And I think we achieved a lot of that today. All right, I've talked to all the threes about the Cadet Command changes under Bold T and the new OML, and you had questions. This upcoming Friday we'll have a telecon with Cadet Command with the author of the new OML. And we will take those questions, we've already sent them to him, and the cadre and I will sit down and have a telecon and go over those. We'll consolidate those answers and get them out to all of you, because this is the OML you're going to be assessed by if you're a 1, 2, or a 3. And that will determine your future as an officer of 1 component. Speaking about that, you also know that our mission has changed from purely a line contracted mission set to a divide between line contracts to compete for active duty and guaranteed reserve forces designation contracts. And it's for mission set 17, the sophomores, it hits you hard. Because not all of you here, 1, are going to be offered a contract, or 2, are going to be offered a line contract. I have 6 line contracts left. And I have an OML with 25 cadets on it. There's 14 GRFD contracts. The reasoning behind that decision was because the CG is concerned that those that do not get active duty are not finding out until their fall semester in November, and therefore they do not have adequate time to prepare. She wants to take some of that anxiety and some of that guesswork out of the mix. So for mission set 17, I have 20 contracts left. There's 25 of you or more, and I can only give 20. I've only 6 are line. And on Friday, the staff and the cadre are going to sit down and we're going to determine at least one of those line contracts based on the OML. And you know the OML. You should know where you fall in the OML and what you have to do to improve your standing on the OML. So the competition is getting harder because the Army is drawing down. That's the facts of life. Better to tell you now than to wait until your senior semester and get the hard facts at that point. If you have any questions about that or want to exercise the open door policy, feel free to do so. I will sit down and I will talk with you and lay it out for you. Cool? Having said that, some cadets, even once they get a scholarship or a contract, somehow do not feel that they can uphold the standards we expect of our officers. So this semester alone, I've disenrolled, or will intend to disenroll, 3 cadets. For drug abuse, for grand larceny from Walmart, and for just not showing up to class and fulfilling the contract that they signed with the United States Army. Our mission is to commission quality second lieutenants, regardless of component and regardless of branch. We represent the Army's future, and we're the stewards of that profession. If you, and the standards are clearly laid out and not hard to obtain, cannot meet those standards, then I will disenroll you. Give somebody else an opportunity to lead America's finest sons and daughters. Or, don't think you're a lieutenant until you commission as a lieutenant. Some of those that I disenrolled are seniors and will no longer have the opportunity to be second. Alright, some better news. This week on Compass Talent Management for the juniors. As I briefed you during the three on the new OML, the threes, it's your opportunity to do a self-assessment on your strengths and weaknesses and to look at the different branches and do a draft before you go to CLC on what branch you think you want to compete for as an Army officer. For the ones and twos, talk to the threes about their experience with it. Because next year if you're a two, it's going to be you. And a 1, 2, in 2 years. The Army is getting better at helping you identify what you want to spend your 20 years or more as an Army officer and what specialty. Coming up on the first week of March in 2 weeks, in fact, a week from tomorrow, I'll be getting on a plane and going to Fort Knox, Kentucky to do a terrain walk for cadet summer training, for cadet initial entry training, and for the cadet leader course. It's going to be better, just because I went it last month for the planning conference, than it was last year. And it's going to change from what it was last year. There's still going to be hang-ups with it. There's still going to be problems. And we're identifying those now, and I'll guarantee you, we won't fix all of them before you get there to camp. So the only thing you have control over in your life is what? Your attitude. So go there with an attitude of taking advantage of it. The Army provides for you to work with other cadets across the nation and make yourself a better leader. Lastly, we have a ball coming up, right? Friday, 17 April. The Holiday Inn. Not at a university, but at the Holiday Inn in a central location for all 4 of our schools. We're about 60% of the way there on ticket sales. So help out Cadet Forte if you've not purchased a ticket, because he's got to put the down payment on the hotel, etc. And I've already talked to the boss, and if we can convince Colonel Anyonwu that we have a good, safe plan, he'll support us having alcohol at the ball. For those of you that are of age. Okay, I'm not condoning or allowing you the opportunity under 21 to get your buzz on. Okay? Finally, your mission is not complete on this LDX until you get home safely and let your cadre and your cadet leadership know you're home safely, and until you do your AAR. Because where do we do most of our learning? The reflective, when you sit back and reflect. When you get home tonight and take a shower, you have something to drink, or go out, think about what you have done today, what you have seen, what you have learned. That's where it's going to sink in. Because as they said today, it was all about hopping and popping and moving on and reacting to the situation. You get back and decompress, that's what we're going to do it again. We've already just started talking about the joint LDX in April, where the 1s and 2s will be segregated to do cadet rifle marksmanship, obstacle course, LRC, and potentially squad 6 lanes in the 3s and 4s. Come back out and do this again. Reps, reps, and reps. Develop you into the leader that the Army